Hello and welcome to this first edition of Deep Dive with Simo. We're taking a look through my MDickie Modding History. Just a fun little desktop-based look around some archive sites of MDickie mod sites, and I'm going to tell you some stories of some little dramas and things that have happened over the years. It's a fun little story, so take a chill, grab a cup of tea, and I'm going to run you through some stuff. With the benefit of seeing my potato face. So yeah, don't know if anyone would know, but I actually made a website called the Empire Mall. It was a modding website where you could just download textures. Pretty much what I've done with WM HD 2019. Fucking name. And yeah, going to go through, because I found some old archives with partially working archives at least, so I'm going to run you through. And I wanted to start with how my story into MDickie Modding worked. And it started with this website called Sheer Domination, which was run by a guy called Ross. So how MDickie Modding worked back in the day, when we're talking at least 03, 04, playing Wrestling Empire 2004. On MDickie's website, which you can see here, which hasn't changed over the bloody years, if you went into his games list and down to the actual game, I'm going to go back in history, Wrestling Empire, which was the original 3D release. I remember you would scroll down here and even MDickie modded his own games, believe it or not. He had a real world patch. I wonder if that will work. I'm going to click it, but I don't have high hopes. Holy fuck. I'm just going to have a quick look at this actually. Hello to everyone. This is a Patreon exclusive video, and this is a little tidbit of what Patreon exclusive guys can experience with me and my potato head. And yeah, but it's a freebie for the YouTube guys, just to get an idea. You know, I'm not just charging you your $1 for fuck all. God, yeah, I'm just taking a quick detour here straight away. What do you expect? It's me. God, look at them. So yeah, he even made a real world little mod here. Fed free. FWA, and look at that, that's so cute. The size of that resolution, that's fucking tiny. Wow. So yeah, so how that inspired me to get modding was, well, if they're just textures being dropped into the local folders of the game, I can give that a go, right? And we're looking at WMHD 2019 here, and we're still doing the same thing, making aprons for the games, and that's what keeps me going, because it's so easy and so enjoyable. And yeah, I was like, well, I'm going to do that myself. I'm going to make my own things. I can't remember my first few mods, but I've got a collection together. In actual fact, I think my first mod, I used to have a hoodie. It was a Nike hoodie, a blue one. I used to wear it to school. I loved it. I've wore it for years. It was my first time modding anything. I didn't even know what modding was, to be honest. I just recreated my hoodie, and I even remember taking a horrible photo. Bearing in mind, again, going back to 2004, I took a photo of my parents' carpet. It was like this horrible floral shit. I had no idea about texture, tiling and stuff, so I took a photo, put it into Paint Shop Pro 7, I believe it was. God, do you remember Paint Shop Pro by Jask? Put it into the game, and I was like, oh wow, the shit I'm making's appearing flawlessly. And that's what spurred me on. So I had this horrible carpet, and yeah, that's what led me to make the Empire Mall, the original one. I won't go into that just yet. But what inspired me to do that was this guy's website, going back to Ross, a guy called Ross Shearer. It was just this basic little free webs hosted site. If anyone remembers free webs, it was a free package, I guess, back then to make your own pages, put your own content, upload images. Not too dissimilar to what we can probably find today. And I was just like, wow, he's putting, as you can see here, you got a raw thing here, weapon textures. He made some barbed wire stuff, yes. I haven't looked through this, I've only bookmarked them to check their working, so this is a first time thing. Oh god, look at that. Yeah, just plain textures, and this was the basis of MDickie Modding. Let's just go through here. I do believe he even made some animations, which is quite impressive for MDickie's horrible animation system. Yeah, god, look at that. Raw Arena. God, that dates this so much. Look at that old ring apron. And these mods were for, as I say, the original Wrestling Empire. Man. So I was like, well, I'm going to make my own free bloody website. And so I did. This is the original Empire Mall, how it started. And yes, there is a Hitler costume, so there goes this video already. But I do believe, I know so, my memory's good. Me and Ross, I said to him, look, do you want to go in together and make the Empire Mall? We can upload our own stuff and have control of it. It's the wrestling niche. We was thinking, oh yeah, we're the bookers, we're controlling the world. And we made this website. Unfortunately, if I click through here, whey, there's my old Hotmail address there, so Red Act. Oh, you've already seen it. Yeah, the site will be for Wrestling Empire and Booking Empire. I even made an old Pro Boards forum. Pro Boards. Fucking hell. But unfortunately, I can't show you any of the other pages because they're just dead. Web Archive or the Wayback Machine is so... That's never going to work. Fuck. Which is the case with Wayback Machine. Something will work, it'll give you hope, and it'll just say, nah, we didn't fucking bother with that. But yeah, so we made these websites and stuff, and we collaborated with a couple of other sort of modders at the time, the handful that there was, and we was just like, send us your mods, we'll put them on the page, and that was it. And FreeWebs was a very basic... You'd literally have to make a page, and it would only, like, for instance, have a set amount of posts per page. So you would have to have like page 2 at the bottom. I think if I go to bodies, if we scroll down, it's my Nike, Simon S's Nike collection. Yeah, page 2. Excuse me. And we would just upload guys' shirts. These are literally tiny little body textures and whatnot. And that's how the Empire Mall got started. And then I went from there. I made a new website, which kills me to say I cannot find an archive of. I don't know why, but I do remember that I had my own little pointless personal website, and that Empire Mall was like a redirect from that original hosting service. So I guess... because the URL was a redirect, the Web Archive Machine just didn't... I'm gutted, but I do know that I have a disc at my old parents' house. My old parents, I got new ones. My parents' house in the attic somewhere, but whether or not that will see the light of day. So there may be a part 2 of the Empire Mall. And yeah, so we had a little community going, which was quite cool, quite interesting. Which brings me to the story of Adolf Hitler. MDickie actually appropriated this texture here. I don't know if my mouse is recording, but the body texture for Hitler, he actually used it in a game called Sure Shot, which was one of his original IPs. Just 2 characters shooting at each other. And he didn't say to me, I've used your thing. So that was a bit of it's always been among the tiny MDickie modding community. It's been always a black mark against MDickie that he's borrowed my Hitler texture, or my suit texture. He didn't use the Hitler face, of course. And I bring that up because on the MDickie Reddit, which is very barren, someone, I can't remember the subreddit topic, but someone brought this scandal up. And I was just like, fuck me, there's still people out there that remember that. So yeah, he changed it slightly, but he stole that little texture. Oh man. And yeah, that was the Empire Mall. That sort of went on to become its own beast. We'll go more into that. But I wanted to go back. God, look at that. Go back to the original little links here I've got saved. Let's go back to the mods page. So you always had this community of people making these little crappy free webs, GeoCities. I think there's a Lycos link here, which I've checked. Doesn't work. Lycos. With the little black Labrador, I think Lycos wasn't it? So I have saved, because these direct links don't work. So we've got the Big Jabba Dudley, Death Row mods, Just for MDickie. These were the only ones that I could find and that are working to a degree. And all of these sites were just little shit, good for the time I guess, but little shit websites. And this was all MDickie Modding was. Anyone could open up their graphic program of choice and just chuck two logos on, bam it into the game, and you've got working. That's just an army tunic with pockets on. Jesus. TNA. And even though it looked shit, and it was shit at the time, it was fun. People wanted to do it. Ring aprons there for a WCW ring. Oh, and you can just easily just drag these from the desktop, pop them in your game folder, making sure that they're named correctly, else it'll crash the game. Oh God, look at that, RVD. Oh, this is so peak mid-2000s internet. Good times. Tommy Dreamer trousers. Man. Death Row, this was a bit of a better website, and they're all very similar in regards to, here's my page, here's a dump of my shit, basically. And this one, I think this one is pretty decently working. Oh, man. So sweet. I'm seeing these for the first time in many years, so that's why I wanted to put the camera on, just to, rather than just me sitting there in silence. I remember all these. I do believe I contacted all of these mod pages just to say, look, do you want to chuck all your mods on the Empire Mall? Because I think because it was called Empire, it had it in the name, it was easily linked with MDickie himself. So whenever someone searched, I do believe we beat the SEO rankings before SEO was even a real thing back then. Yeah, so as I say, they're just texture mods. CM Punk white attire, you think that was current at the time? Look at that. Fantastic. And I do believe that's pretty much just what this website is. Vampiro Horror? Jason Voorhees. Oh man. You know, and even though, because the game was so basic looking, it allowed people to make basic stuff because it fit in, which was not a thing in the community fast forward a few years, which we'll get into. Another one here, just for MDickie. As you can see, there's a similar format to these websites, but I remember that Hayabusa mask. That was some good work. Vader. The trick is with MDickie Modding was there was no model viewer, there was no preview, so you would have to hope that your textures would align onto the models, even though they would make sense in your graphics editor. Just when they appeared on the model in game, either the arena or the wrestler models, it would just fuck up. So I remember this Vader texture being pin perfect. When he would turn around, all of those joints you see there would go on the back of his head perfectly. So that was a good bit of work, that was. I think that stayed around for right through up until the Wrestling Encore days, which was the next game from Empire, the original Empire, not Remix. Yeah. That's some good work. And that's what I'm saying. You had these guys that were good, capable guys making this stuff. It's just a great time. It really was. New Jack there. Oh, we got some dead links there. New faces. You can see this guy was a fan of luchadors and whatnot. Halloween. Oh man. But yeah, the Empire Mall pretty much sucked up, for better or worse, the community, which was a good thing, because you had all of these sort of like the territories in wrestling. You had these rogue websites and stuff. But the Empire Mall moved on. The only remnant I can find of my work is this tiny little GIF image that's on MDickie's page, which I sort of advertise in the Empire Mall. I don't know if it's there. Yeah, look up there in the top left. Looking for great mods? The Empire Mall can sort your modding with no G needs. Oh, I remember that belt texture as well. That looked fantastic in the game. And yeah, I spent a good load of time making some good, proper, polished mods for Empire. I would have I made the $1 Million Man, Gordon Freeman there. Merc and Ace have got some new camo, some current day rings there. As I say, I'm gutted that I can't get my hands on an old backup, because I've still got all of these textures on file and the old website archives. I'd love to get my hands on that. I've put a feeler out to my mum saying, "Oi, have a look in the loft for me." Yeah, so that website did well. The forum sort of blossomed, and then it sort of took a strange turn over time, because we went from this MDickie, what I would call the MDickie style era, and then we sort of traversed to a modern photorealistic style, which I didn't agree with, because the graphics of MDickie games are, let's face it, they're shit. But these guys were still trying to make these realistic looking mods. A total conversion mod. It was called TWC, aka the Wrestling Channel, which was like a syndicated wrestling channel here in the UK. Where's the bookmarks for them? So TWC1 was just MDickie style, as well as TWC2, which I've got a YouTube vid here. As you can see here, it had real wrestlers in. As you can see, I've said that twice. It also had new character models and just a slight overhaul, not too dissimilar to what WMHD does. But it kept the style of MDickie, which was fine. I didn't mind that. But then I do believe it was TWC3. I don't have a video for that, where it went to like a photorealistic style. Or let's jump straight to TWC4. Batman Vivo, thank you for your content. I'm doing a little screen cap here. And this was a lot of talented people worked on the TWC pack. I'll just say that. A lot of good hard work went in to this small tiny niche. They totally revamped the look of the game. Entirely new models. All of the texture work was spot on. It had face photos. Like a proper game. But I was always of the opinion of it looks crap in the sense that it doesn't suit the game world. For better or worse, MDickie has got a style, and that's why I keep it up with WMHD, because not that anyone mods the games pretty much anymore. They are easy to partake in, but the trouble that we run into with TWC, I never sort of said anything back then, but I always appreciate work no matter what it is. You can't just say, "Oh, that's shit," because then the people go away. But the trouble with TWC4 was you had to have it was almost like an overlay for every texture. So you'd make a basic texture, but then you had to apply all of these realistic like shadings and shadows and stuff, and it was just like, it's sort of going from fun modding to being a game studio. And in a free tiny world, it's just like, I don't want any part of this, to be honest. So I've got a little side-by-side comparison here, and you can see straight away how dramatically different things are. Let's skip ahead. Look at that. They had new animations. Shout out to a couple of names I remember. who did pretty much the most of the models. Sorry if anyone is watching who worked on this, but I believe there's a guy called, it was either Tenko Man or Techno Man. I think I always wrongly called him Tenko Man, but I think it was Techno Man. And he made loads of models for MDickie, way back to Wrestling Encore. Just some good work, some good texture works. He did all of the UV mapping and stuff. Fair play to him. I always wanted to get into the modelling game, but I was too not dumb, but just there, too mathematical for me. But yeah, TWC, some fantastic work. It run like shit on my computer because we know how MDickie games run at the best of times. But you can see here these arena styles. I mean, it is fantastic work for a free modding project. Look at the difference. It is fantastic, yes, but it just looks weird, in my opinion, even to this day. Obviously, some might have a different opinion, as we're all got our own opinions, some more than others. It's, as I say, I keep saying it's good. But yeah, then after the TWC released, the dream was to always work on TWC 5, which was its own project. A name, David Granite, is coming to mind, one of the many Empire Mall members. I think he was like the lead on the project, but it just sort of fizzled out. I think they was trying to take on too much, and especially when you're in a constantly dying niche that is MDickie modding community, it just sort of died on its arse, and the Empire Mall went with it. Because I was always of the impression that a mod should be a website. Bearing in mind this is before social media and what we know today, Instagram and getting your name out there. You only had forums and websites, so yeah, it sort of went from a website, because I sort of relinquished myself from the modding community circa 07ish or so. I think I was just a bit burnt out. I was just not into it anymore because of the TWC sort of angle. You know, everyone was going for, right, let's not adapt the MDickie style, let's make new textures and make these great photorealistic fucking stuff. And it sort of, I was just like, oh man, I miss the days of these old freewebs websites, you know. Let's keep that style going, but with modern wrestlers, you know, The Miz, or I don't think anyone's gunning to make a 2006 Miz, but yeah, and I don't think I can show you an archive of the old Empire Mall, but it basically went from a website to a forum, just threads with forum attachments. Forums can never be properly archived on the Wayback Machine. And yeah, the TWC format and the forum format, I was just like, nah, I'm not into this no more. It's a bit, nah, just didn't like it. So then I left, and there was a few bad eggs in the community, trolls and stuff. Believe it or not, even in the small community, there was little trolls, and there was this madman that overtook my old forum and put like photos of me, because I had long hair back then. I wasn't emo, but you would say, oh, look at that emo wanker, and he put all photos of me over the forum, just like a train of hatred, very strange. And then the community splintered off. Someone made, I think it was Tenko Man or Turtleneck, one of the two, both two prolific modders at the time, and they made the Encore Mall, which I do have an archive of here. Oh god. God, I'm going to control an 8x, I can't see. Again, another forum, which forums are so yeah, I'm going to try and go into some stuff here. Oh, excuse me. So you'd have like 3D models, arena textures, and then threads and stuff where people could comment. CZW Arena, I don't think, because it's a forum where most of the stuff was attached to the forum. Yeah, it was Techno Man, sorry. Hello, Techno Man, if you're out there. Good work, thank you for your efforts over the years. Yeah, Yeah, DJ Claudio, that was the guy. Hello, if you're still around, buddy. I hope things have changed for you over the years. I know it has for me. Yeah, funny times. Just a lot of drama over the Empire Mall. Just a lot of nothing really. Just bullshit. Leadership changes and whatnot. It just mired the whole community in a hot mess. So yeah, and MDickie himself, he was very reticent to put any links to fan sites. I think because throughout his gaming career, he's always been deemed as like a shit guy. His games look shit, therefore they are shit. So he was very opposed to including any mention of fan sites. So I think I reached out to him back in the day and just said, look, if you have modding for your game, it's going to live forever, which it almost did, for better or worse. And then he eventually put up this page here. Bearing in mind this archive is 2006, I'm going to try and go back. We're on 2006. Oh, is this the earliest? Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, we eventually got this modding page up. And yeah, but he was very, even to this day, I think if we go onto the actual MDickie website, because these links to the fan pages have always been around. Links. There's a little... Oh, okay. There is somewhere on this website where it says, I don't condone the modding of my games. So we've got the original Empire Mall here. Fucks. Well, there goes the fucking YouTube upload. Thank you, dodgy... Yeah, fuck's sake. I'm gonna have to block that out now. I've got to do some extra work. But yeah, he's never been a fan of the old modding, but he did his best. But yeah, so we've always been a bit of a rogue-like... I can't believe that Empire Mall link. Fuck's sake. We've always been on the periphery, but we've had our fun over the years. Some good people have done some work. And now here we are, where it feels like it's only me, because where the mobile games come out, and for anyone that's interested, it isn't like the old games where you just drag and drop JPEGs. You've got to, because they run on Flash, I think, you have to get a Flash editor and open the files, because I mentioned before when I did WMHD for Wrestling Revolution 3D, these long names are going to kill me. I had to get some programs just to open the things, and you would have to recompile the game. It was just like, I think of all the little kids, because let's be honest, I was a little kid. I was 14, 13, making these mods, and you're basically blocking these kids out from making their own thing. Granted, a lot of the stuff back then and even today is shit, but the community, the participation is all that matters, because I was shit. I didn't turn out to be good. My mods were horrible. I wish I could get those archives and show you. Just wank stuff, like I was mentioning with my parents' carpet, badly tiled. But yeah, the mobile market, I mean, there's a couple of people on YouTube that have modded to some good success, Wrestling Revolution 3D, but they're in their own sort of area, really. I mean, they go for this real world thing again, and it's just like, man, not to the extent of TWC 4, but I don't know where I'm going with that, but I just wish modding was as easy as it was, because that's why I've stuck around, and that's why I'm still making mods with WMHD 2019, because it's so easy. And yeah, the past of the modding community has been varied. I'm trying to think of any other little tidbits. I know we had that crazy guy overtook the web page, but yeah, the Empire Mall itself was just constant drama. Whoever was running it, sort of, I would say 2008 and onwards, whenever you would go to Empire Mall, the web page, it would be a different forum, it would be a new website, it would be a new format, a new logo. It was never the web page I always wanted. It just sort of fizzled out, and that's why it's now an explicit bloody page. And I don't know if anyone is from that era is subscribed to this channel. Hello, but yeah, that's the end of MDickie Modding, pretty much. And it was a fun ride. Let me go back to the original Empire Mall. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've got my own link there. Yeah, and that was a forum there, the original Empire Mall forum, when the web page got taken down. What am I doing? Sorry. Fucking ambling on. The OG Empire Mall. Yeah, so MDickie stole my shit. I don't give a fuck. I just find it funny when I have to bring that story up because it's so minuscule. It's so in its own bubble of a bubble of a bubble. But yeah, it's just my little take on history, and no one's around anymore. It's an old game, 2004 game. Empire Remix was 2010, or 2008 was 2008. It's dead. I'm barring the mobile modders, I'm the only one doing it for the PC, I think. I've had a look around. I don't think there's any communities. There might be like a rogue Facebook community, but again, unless you've got a proper website, then it's not like it used to be. And I find, not that it's an issue or a problem, but a lot of the modding community seems to be done by what I would call non-Western countries. So a lot of the things are in sort of different texts and languages, and it's just there's no big place for it anymore. So all things come to an end, but yeah, it was a good time, a good part of history, and that's why I'm just running you through. And that's why I've got the camera on, just to capture my face, so I'm not sitting there in silence, audibly sitting there in silence. Ah man, this web page brings me so much nostalgia, man. And yeah, I think other than my web page, the crazy guy, the forum drama, I do remember actually, as I was going back to the other mod pages, whenever new ones would crop up, I would contact the people and say, look, no, don't bother with your own website, like, become part of the Empire War. I wanted to make this sort of what I would call the WWE of MDickie Modding, but we had some mergers, I would call. I was always the boss, so to speak. Yeah, it died on its arse, as I keep saying, and that was it, and it went the way it did. So it started with little sheer domination here. I got inspired. I made the Empire Mall, we had some success, people came along, they joined in, TWC came along, a real world mod in the MDickie style, TWC 3 and 4 were developed in this more realistic style, TWC 5 was meant to be its own game, but it got mired in development hell, never came out, don't know what happened to the people, just vanished, gone to this day, I can't find any trace, and here we are in 2019. I'm not going to do the maths because I'm crap at maths, but at least 12 plus years? Yeah, surely. It's dead, and here we are, as I say, still making content. So if anyone was around in the MDickie era of modding, Empire Mall, give me a shout out, because I'd love to hear from you. Any little tidbits of info that I've forgotten, because as good as my memory is, I do forget little tidbits, little episodes. And yeah, I think that'll be all for the deep dive. And this will be a little casual series. It's always casual with me, isn't it? It's always rambling and casual, but with the benefit of even though it's a very sort of basic format of video, it's just my fucking desktop. At least you've got my expressions. Again, for better or worse, that's probably 7 times I said it this video, but this series will be a Patreon exclusive, so if you can cough up $1 to witness more of this stuff and support my potato head fat arse, then I'd be eternally grateful, because I'm having fun doing this stuff, getting more personal and getting more into the juicy goods of my history and things that I'm passionate about. Still passionate, even though no one gives a rat's ass about it. But hey, that's why I make content. Try to make it interesting. So yeah, that would be all from me. Thank you for watching. It's been a blast as always, and I'll see you in the next one.